So she was waited till now. So we have Dr. Priya. So yeah, please introduce yourself. Or anyways, Priya, we are
Hi,
honored to be here to have
hi.
you. Yeah.
Hello everybody. I am Dr. Priyanka Enikalla. I am a dentist and I am a maxillofacial surgeon. And very recently I moved back from Russia to India, so I'm still adjusting to Indian environment. And QHHT is I have known about this for a very long time, and I'm just very recently getting acquainted with Jitendra Garu and Ravikant Garu. So I'm very thankful for this session. Thank you so much.
So how do you started? You should share that experience, in fact.
Well, yeah, Jitendra Garu asked me to share a little bit about the
No, no.
experience.
I'm just asking how you reached me. So that is something
Oh,
really interesting, right?
yeah, that was, see, the Dolores Cannon, my journey started way long. 2000, between 2014 to 2016, I had a lot of NED experiences, that is called near death experiences. When you have near death experiences, your kundalini suddenly start opening up significantly. So that was the time when I bumped into so many things. One of them was Dolores Cannon. And Dolores Cannon website, I always used to go and check, and I used to find who are the practitioners in India. I always have Jitendra Garu number there and information there, but I never clicked on it. I don't know why I was like, maybe it's not needed for me now. It will come to me. If it is necessary, it will come to me. And lately I'm going through a lot. And suddenly on Jan 11th, I don't know what happened. My fingers were working by themselves. I simply went to website. I clicked on his name. I took the number. I messaged. And usually when I'm messaging people, I message like, hello, so and so person. I am contacting you in regards to so and so thing. But my message to him was hello. That's it. Nothing else. Because to be very honest, it was not me. I know it is very hard to explain that how can it not be you, but it was a moment, it felt like I am taken over by something or somebody higher conscious or something, and they are messaging on behalf of me, and I have no idea what is going on. I messaged Ravikant Garu, I messaged Chitan Garu, both of them hello, hello, and rest it is history. I just decided to speak, we got acquainted, and then I came into the session.
And you know also that we both are together. That is also.
Yeah, it is like in the website Ravikant Garu number is not there, no information was there, but somehow I know that they both are connected to each other. I know some for some reason I know Ravikant Garu is going to take his name, and I know Chaitanya Garu is going to take his name. It's like in some kind of an instinct, like I know they both know each other and I should be in connection with them, in contact with them.
That's so good. Anything about Dolores you want to share?
um Dolores, my journey with her, it changed me. It changed because there were so many questions that I had when I started my Kundalini awakening journey, and I was all alone. And through her books, through so many other, I self meditated. I can go into trance in my sleep very easily. And when I wake up, I start writing it because whatever I remember, it is the information that I'm getting from higher self. And I have so many journals now that I have maintained over the years because so much information, some information is just random, but I just write it. And after, there are times when 2 years later, I'm connecting to that information, you know. So these are the information I get through numbers, through sleep, through like different ways. There are so many other ways. And one of the most interesting part of this journey was knowing about the earth and knowing about the three waves of volunteers. It was a very mind blowing experience for us because earth is the only planet that has free will, you know, and no other planet in the entire universes has this free will. So having this free will is a very great blessing for humanity. And the first thing uh, that we should be doing is protecting the free will, because there are a lot of laws across the universes where they're born to that. For example, if you're a dog, you're born to go fetch a ball. They don't have a free will of not fetching it. They're bonded to that law. But humanity doesn't have that kind of laws. They have a free will. So we should use it carefully. you know we should not just give our rights to everybody. We should always analyze. We should always respect that free will. And because of this free will, we have done certain things that has become against humanity. One of them was World War II. you know we are a species of multiple genetic codes. We are an experimental species that divine never thought that can evolve into such a significant way. They never thought that we can have such a evolved intelligence. They're surprised by our evolutionary process. But unfortunately, during World War II, we have used it in a very wrong way that has caused a very significant ripple effect across the universes and galaxies. And everybody in the divine force is surprised that how we are called by the divine, we are called children. So they often say, they say, how did the children find the information of atomic energy? It is way before their time. They're never supposed to get this information. And the problem with this thing to help us is that divine has an order. That order is never to interfere with an evolving civilization. It is forbidden. So they wanted to help us, but they don't know how to. That's when the call went out across the universes that Earth is in trouble and we need volunteers. And that's how three waves of volunteers came into existence. Because since they cannot interfere from the outside, they're sending volunteers inside the earth by giving us birth inside the earth and making the changes on the earth. Because when pure souls, the star seeds, pure souls, divine souls, they come into earth, they change the entire frequency of earth. Because we have changed the frequency of earth by using atomic energy in a negative way. Had we used it in a positive way, we don't have to do all this. So since to change the entire frequency, the electromagnetic frequency of the earth, the souls have come in to clear the karma of the humanity. Now a lot of people say why humanity is not clearing it, because humanity lost its divinity over the period of zillion years. They're taking rebirth and rebirth, and they're carrying the same karmic cycle again and again. So they're not able to cleanse it. That's why the three wave of volunteers have come to earth, who are also cleaning the karmic cycle of the humans, Homo sapiens, and also the karmic cycle of Gaia has in the earth. So the three waves of volunteers are, the first one had the toughest time. Second and third are better, but the first one had the tough time. They're born between 1940s to 1960s. Yes, please. I think somebody has a question. No, atomic energy was also used during Mahabharata as well, and there are many other wars that were fought. And this is atomic energy is a new era. That's why we are mentioning it. But this atomic energy has been used earlier. That's why a lot of civilizations were lost. And time to time, every time a civilization has reached to a point where they are going to destroy the earth, they have interfered from the outside and clear the complete civilization. Like you have Lumerians, Atlantis, they're all lost. Um, and it's the same way. I'm sorry, I'm lost again. Let me get this information. Yeah, so from time to time, they have cleared the civilization, but this time, after that World War II, we have reached to a point where the earth is moving into assertion. So there is no time to clear the civilization, you know, because the earth, the Gaia has to move into higher dimension right now as we speak. So if we clear the civilization now, the earth is going to go back to class one where it started, unfortunately. So there was no time to clear this entire civilization and remove the atomic energy. It's going to take lot of revolutionary process and healing and everything to go back and start again and move into higher dimensions. So that's why the volunteers came in so we can clear the karmic cycle and help the Gaia to move into higher dimension and help the people of the planet Earth to move into higher dimensions. The first wave has difficult time because they are the pioneers. Before them, they are pure souls. They have never taken birth on Earth before. Uh, I'll get back to the questions maybe after I am done. Is that okay?
I think yeah, that's fine. We can take next week also. So yeah, so yeah.
So the pioneers, they are the ones, they're pure souls, and they often didn't understand how the physical body of human worked because the divine souls are light souls. Most of the divine, they don't eat like humans eat. They feed through light or different sources. They don't eat. So for them, adjusting to the physical body was a very new thing. It is too heavy. They will often complain that, to go from point A to point B, it is such a heavy work, because of our 3D dimensional body. And they often stand in the kitchen and tell their mom, like, Mom, I want to go home. And mom will say, like, you're home. No, I want to go home. This is not my home. So the first wave always had difficult time adjusting on Earth because they had no one before them to help them, and they are the starters for the next two volunteers. And they have, unfortunately, some of the first waves have left Earth, and some are still fighting for humanity, helping humanity, some or the other way. And the second waves, they have nothing to do. They just have to be there. Their very existence is going to change the earth frequency. They are the energy boomers, energy beamers, or boomers, whatever you want to call. Their crown chakra is always having the energy with connected to the divine. So if a second wave walks into a mall or something, they will cleanse the entire mall's karmic cycle. They have that much potential. But the drawback of this is that second wave also takes their negativity. The second waves often complains of heavy headaches, vomitings. They cannot open their eyes for days, months, because they have cleansed the karma and they have taken on to themselves. So they have also, the second waves also have a tendency of not going out much. They don't prefer going out because they know that they're going to take it. So they accidentally or subconsciously just don't want to go out. The second symptom you see in a second wave, that they don't want to get married or they don't want to have children because they feel that getting married and having children will bond them into a karmic cycle. The third wave is a new children. The most of them are called new children because after cleaning by the first and second wave, we have to bring in the activation of the DNA that will connect to the divine source. So the new children are born with that activation in their DNA. But what happened, the energy of the third wave was so high that most of the time the mothers will complain that before I had this child, I had a miscarriage, because that energy couldn't be contained in the fetal body. So the divine force said, okay, we'll send the energy at different milestones of their development, like at the 6 years or 12 years, like that. Another problem we had with the third waves was uh, they had difficult time in understanding science and math. Our math is very primitive. 2 plus 2 is no longer 4 in divine mathematics. It is only for our humans we understand 2 plus 2 is 4, 2 into 2 is 4. But in divine mathematics, this kind of mathematics doesn't exist. So the children, they often complain, I don't want to read this. It is too boring. I already read this. How many times I'm supposed to read this? Or they do something extraordinary that the parents will not understand that how can the child develop certain scientific research, or why the children are not going out and playing, or why the children are not like other children. So they take them to the psychiatrist and different checkups, and they say, like, take this medicine. They have ADAH or something like that. They put them through pills, and that blocks the child's divine force, that connection with the divine. The chemical of the medicine blocks the genetic code that connects to the divine force. So this became a very big problem when the third waves were coming. Second waves are between late 1970s and late 1980s, between that. And third waves are late 90s to early 2000s. And they're still coming in. So third wave, it was very difficult to protect the third waves because often miscarriages, and often they are taken to the hospitals, given pills and all. So what Divine Force said was, like, connect them with the second waves, So either the second wave becomes their mother, father, or sister, brothers. So they are all protecting each other, born in the same family. And somehow the second wave always understand what third wave is going on. Even if they are not aware of their existence, who they are, they're still able to protect each other. And they are still able to do their job, what they're supposed to do during this lifetime.
Okay.
I hope I made it clear.
You have too much of Dolores knowledge you have. Yeah, we are good to have you.
Priya, Dr. Priya, I want to give you one advice. Have you heard of Conversations with God by Donald Walsh?
No, I have a lot of books, but I have not read all of them.
No, you don't have to read. So what happened was, Donald Walsh is a person here who said that he was in a very destitute state in his life when he said that he had a notepad and he had a lot of questions, right? Why me? Why like this? Why life? Why my situation is this way? Why am I getting one problem after another? It's not fair. It's too much. He had all those questions. He said he had a legal pad and his hand started writing by itself.
Yeah.
And so what question do you have? What question do you have? So he says, those are conversations by God. God has written down the answers to all my, he's asking me to write a question and he wrote the answers. And there are 4 volumes of books called Conversations with God. I think you should write your, whatever notes you have, right? You should make it into a book and it will be very useful for everybody. I mean, a lot of things when you're saying about the 3 waves of volunteers and everything, it's very impressive. So I think you should consider writing a book, publishing books on that.
I write novels. I write them as a novel because I don't want to write them as a non-fictional. A lot of people
I understand.
contradictions, like, what is she talking? A lot of people still, when Amish book came out about Mahabharata and Ramayana, I believe they are divine forces actually having a nuclear war. But nobody believes. There was so much controversies. So it's better to write in a fictional form, but only people who understand, they understand.
No, that's great too. That's great. That's awesome, actually. Whatever, if you see all the Avengers movies and everything, right?
Yeah,
if you see Superman, Crystal Cave and everything, those are actually, I'm pretty sure, if you see Avatar movie and all that, right? I'm pretty sure they are some kind of messages they got, which they made into fiction and showed.
Definitely,
but
yes.
People who can connect, they can connect to those. So you should definitely write novels or something on that.
Yeah, no, because nobody can, if you can write out of nowhere, then you are a god. The writers are getting some information somewhere that they're putting into a storyline. It's not possible that they are just imagining and writing.
I agree. I completely agree.
Star Trek, everything is
Star Wars, Yoda, everything. I know.
Actually, Jordan Maxwell, he's a researcher, very profound researcher for past 60 years. He always says one thing: Hollywood is many things, but stupid isn't one of them. Hollywood is telling you the stories, but we humans are just watching it as a movies. If you stop watching them as a movies and you start looking between their scenes, you will realize there are a lot of messages and they are trying to indirectly tell you, but you're not listening. Avengers, they are trying to tell you. Avatar, they try to tell you. There are so many sci-fi movies, so many witch movies, but they're all telling you some story that we are not just listening. We are like, pre-programmed. This is just a movie, have fun, come home, eat popcorn. That's all.